What happens when a woman likes you but you don't like her back is what I'd like to discuss. I'm not sure about you, but there have been many times in my life when I haven't been interested in a lady, even if she thought I was cute and wanted to hang out with me. I had women rubbing their chests and rear ends on me trying to get my attention. They were behaving in a Venus fly trap-like manner. It smells good, which encourages flies to land on it. But the trap springs when you do. Since they are typically trapped with you if they are talking to you, especially at work or school, I believe that many women linger around a guy long enough to catch him. They capture your attention because they believe that if they spend enough time with you, you'd have to be an absolute moron to fail to notice their interest in you. In my teens and 20s, there have been occasions when I could have had 5 to 10 more ladies with me. But I was too naive to detect their interest in me, despite the fact that they were right there, on the verge of lighting a flare. I went to a party, and as I sat on the couch talking to someone, 2 girls were making out on the other end of the couch. I found it amusing that they were making such an effort to attract my attention from across the room, so I laughed. My friends and I were talking about food when one girl's buddy decided to walk over to the table and stand right next to me. When she glanced around and saw me laughing, she stopped huffing. She was incredibly attractive, but due of her dark skin, I don't believe anyone noticed her because everyone was absorbed in their phones. I still recall my emotions upon seeing the photo of Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. I reasoned that this must have been my demeanor and attitude when those women expressed interest in me, but I was too preoccupied with other activities to give them or their advances much thought. I find this set of images amusing because in the first one, she is taking a time out and appears to be getting intoxicated. I believe she had just been married at the time, so I wonder what her husband Jim thought when he saw this image. The awful deer in the headlights can be seen in their wedding photo. She dated Jim for 3 years and had a child with him. I believe the first photograph was shot soon after she wed Jim, based on the man's expression. The second photo appears to have been shot when she was pregnant with him, and the third was likely taken at the same time when she was again inebriated. She later wed Sam Mendes when their marriage broke down. In a video, she expresses her happiness over the fact that she and Leonardo DiCaprio were never romantically involved. Leo, on the other hand, only dates model-type ladies who are 25 or younger. Given that woman is in her 40s and has 3 children with 3 separate men, I doubt he would have pursued her. She also claims that it was really laborious job and took 7 months to film Titanic. She also claims that nobody had a crush on anyone else during that time. She also claims that getting up to use the restroom every 2 hours is the maximum she can tolerate. The age gap may not have been a factor at the time because it has been a long time. Still, if they had wanted to be together, they would have found a way. I don't know about you, but these images make it appear as though he is simply ignoring her. I'm happy that young DiCaprio is still following his own interests. Consider all the women who would initially act thrilled before becoming furious that Kate managed to get her hands on their Titanic co-star. She was in her early 20s when DiCaprio appeared to neglect her. A man has expectations. She is currently examining him with the same gaze a single mother with 3 children from 3 different fathers would use. It's best to simply smile sweetly and observe how frantic her face becomes. You're helping her out in the meanwhile because she's still holding out a sliver of hope that you'll say yes. She practically jumps out of her seat as she says, "I can't wait to see you at my show tonight." "Are you coming?" "No, I'm not coming, but I'll see you later. Don't worry about it." I said, "Fantastic, see you then." "Hey, if you wanted to hang out later today, I'll be around to see you." After completing his 3rd lap, the person in front of me turns around and says, Another guy who has been running laps for the past 5 minutes replies, "Yeah, me too. Perhaps we can do something later." The 2 of them depart. I get up, move to the edge of the pool, and the person in front of me apologizes once again as he picks up speed. I pull down my trunks and remark, "Oh no, it's great. This is more comfortable," as if they were no big problem. "So, are you planning to spend the entire day in there, or what?" "I wonder if you don't want me to," he replies. I reply, "Yeah, I don't want you to." He exits the pool by climbing up and retrieves a towel before returning to the change area. However, if you're anything like me, you realize that you're deliberately squandering your time since every minute she spends with you is a minute she can't spend with someone else. By rejecting her overtures while remaining courteous, you are preserving some other unfortunate schlub's freedom for a brief period of time. He could just require those brief intervals to develop into a red pill man. None of them had the guts to just approach me and ask me out. Several did, and I answered yes. However, they were the more resilient and intelligent women who were willing to take a chance on being turned down. The daring ladies who ask men out are the ones who aren't afraid of rejection because they can be unsure of where their heart truly lies. Why would you even ask someone out if you're not debating? One of the most crucial qualities a woman should possess is self-confidence. If she doesn't believe in herself, why should anyone else? I usually ignore the most attractive primadonnas till they lose interest and go without saying anything. If I had known then what I know now, I would have eliminated more than 24 double Ds, but hindsight is 20/20ths. Many women, in my opinion, believe that men and women think similarly, despite the fact that it is possible for a woman to eventually yield to a man and play the field. A male would be considerably less inclined to act in the same manner. However, that does not mean that all women believe that a man ignoring them is a sign that he is the one with greater sexual value. And she'll have a lot more satisfying experience if he does say yes to her. This category includes some people who are simply not interested in girls or who desire to date several different women. And those men are the ones who may be self-assured, believing that they are worthy of receiving sexual attention from the person they are with. I've seen ladies who rebuffed a man's approaches for months on end in order to witness his obsession with them. It was possible that he would be obsessed with maintaining them rather than losing interest in them if he had been long-term fixated with getting with them. I don't believe they are equivalent. There was a girl in high school who had a year-long obsession with me. I finally caved in and walked out with her, but she was cold and we didn't last long. I'm not sure how high school was for you, but from what I've observed, being with a female is not the same as having a girlfriend. They're different, not the same though. Being with a female is different from having a girlfriend in that there is no assurance of what will happen in your relationship, whether you decide to stay together or not. It also doesn't imply that you have an unrequited crush on a female or anything of the sort. She will pursue you while you ignore her, but once she has you in her possession, she will stop caring about you. She likely only wanted to demonstrate to herself her initial ability to draw in that man. We all know that a woman's worst sensation is when a man doesn't care about her. When a woman is ignored, her narcissistic supply is cut off, destroying her self-esteem and forcing her to consider how high she is in the sexual marketplace are what it entails. It's similar to a man going through his existential crisis. All he needs to do is smile and nod, refusing what amounts to an open offer to place his shrink swing inside of a smooth, warm oven. However, this situation is very different. There is no question that both the guys they want and the men they don't want will disregard them. I can't say for sure, but I believe that in today's society, a lot of the attention that women receive comes from guys that are in or in friend zones. After all, if no one looks at them or pays attention to them, women will become more irritated and angry. But they are unable to have children or receive attention, so they must work and take care of themselves. Most guys should avoid it since it makes life difficult for women. Then the women will become upset with the guys who are neglecting them and hold them responsible for the situation, instead of criticizing the guys for prioritizing their professions over marriage. It's unfortunate that the men's well hasn't yet been broken by the Japanese government, since they refuse to have children and disregard Japanese women. I'm not aware of any Japanese women who have taken to lashing out at males for not paying attention to them, but I am aware that the same thing is occurring in South Korea, where feminist women are doing the same. South Korea's illegality of fapping videos hasn't increased the birth rate there. I'm done for today. I hope you enjoy the vids. Please subscribe and click the like button.